Hello, vlog people. Well, it's Friend Friday, and today I have my very, very dear close friend, and we're sitting out in an alley against a purple wall. My friend Sissy Boyd.
Hi.
Hi, Sissy.
Yes, we're in an alley, purple wall.
Yes,
Couldn't
we
be
are, with
better.
motorcycles going all around us. Sissy is a very, very dear close friend of mine. We laugh together, we cry together, we see theater together, good, the bad, and the ugly, and we have a nice spiritual path together. Sissy was a dancer, among many other things. She's a poet, a dancer. First of all, can I see let's see your socks. Sissy showed me these socks today. Look at that, part your toes. Aren't they fantastic? They're beautiful, and these shoes too are very wedgy.
These are earth shoes that I wear to work.
She's become a shop girl.
I'm a shop girl at a wonderful store called Koi in South Pasadena, and it was a very difficult thing to start to do, and I did it. So
Because you've always been creative. You've always been writing and dancing and doing and acting and things. And this was actually something more structured, and it was probably
which I finally need because I'm 64. I'm about 65. I better get some kind of structure. So I did, and it's working out fine.
And you love it.
I love it.
I have to tell you that when she was first started the job, all she did was she was terrified all the time. I'm not going to be able to do the cash register. I'm not going to be. And now she says, I'm going to my shop.
Yeah, it's like performance art.
It is.
It's hard labor. You just run around for 8 hours, and I feel like I'm dancing.
And you love it.
And I wear sort of a costume.
Speaking of dancing, tell me about your dancing history.
My dancing history. I'm from a family that was very against any kind of creative expression. So I really did fight my way. When I was sent to a boarding school, and there, when I was a junior, I saw a modern dancer who came from Bennington College. And something happened, of course. I saw her black tights, her beads, her
Was it
long
like
black hair.
was it like the Martha Graham style?
Yeah, she was definitely Martha Graham style. And so that began, but I didn't know how to go about it. But so eventually I got to New York in the Martha Graham School. But I was, by that time, 23 or something. It all was happening a little late.
Don't you love that in the dance world, 23 is a little late?
Yes,
You know,
right.
just the time when you're starting to understand, beginnings of understanding what a human
Right.
being does and feels.
Right.
It's like, oh, you're over there.
You're over the hill, sorry. But also I didn't have any training, and I
Right.
didn't really know what it was. I still didn't know what it was.
But you had the body for dancing.
The body for dance.
You had the soul for dancing.
Soul for dance. So it was an interesting combination. But then, of course, I was paralyzed with a virus.
Yes, this is a fascinating story to me.
This virus called Guillain-Barre
It sounds fantastic.
attacked me. Yeah, it's quite exotic.
Guillain-Barre.
Guillain-Barre.
Doesn't it sound like a French costume?
Yes, and it was 2 Frenchmen that isolated this virus in the 20s, but it was very rare. Nobody ever got it, and I got it.
Except you.
I got it, and it was very exotic.
Well, leave it to Sissy to get the thing that nobody
Yes,
ever else
right.
gets. The symptoms of Guillain-Barre
Exactly.
were
paralysis.
total paralysis. What could you move?
Nothing. My eyes didn't shut.
Your eyes didn't
Put on
shut.
a respirator to breathe. For a while, when they didn't know what it was, they were probably going to excuse me from the hospital, because they didn't know what it was. But finally, a brilliant young intern figured it out. Of course,
And how was it? Of course you did. And how was it treated?
There's no treatment.
So what happened?
Now. You just lie there, and they.
How long were you
kept
paralyzed?
Doing spinal taps. About 5 months.
5 months. And yet everything was completely fine in your head.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting thing, because when you're at that level of survival, it's an interesting. I wasn't lying there thinking, oh gosh, I'm trapped in my body, and I was just on a level of survival, like
Wow.
looking at my feet. It was an interesting thing, but.
Do you remember the moment that you could? Do you remember the moment that you could first have some muscle control or something moved?
Yeah, I saw my toes
Really?
move. Yeah,
Oh.
it was thrilling. My friends by that time were coming, visiting me, mocking me, making me laugh. What? You look terrible. You're drooling. And all that laughter, I think, was very good. I would laugh, but my face would
Contort?
Contort.
And so they
And they'd
made
say,
fun of
"Oh
you.
my God, that's
what
so much."
fantastic friends.
I know.
To
Well,
be able to really be realistic and still be there and supportive and
That
like
was
now,
it.
and what do you think? So when a person goes through something like that, something you can't possibly mentally prepare for,
yeah.
and then you go through it and you come out of it, what does it give you, Sissy?
At the time, nowadays I think they'd send you to like somebody to talk about what was that, and we didn't have that then. It was 1974. So I kind of on my own, and I felt, I actually started to drink a lot, take drugs. I kind of thought, well, what was that? And I didn't really feel like dancing. I felt like I knew so much about the body, and it kind of had died and come back, and I knew things that people didn't know, and I see people in the class like staring in the mirror, and I think, oh, that's not for me. So it took a while. I got married, I had children, and then I began to write about it, and it became just fantastic material. It's
Absolutely.
just something I know, and I've seen one or two people that have had it. Joseph Heller actually had it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wrote a book called No Laughing Matter. He didn't have it to the degree I did, and he was already an established writer. I always felt...
Isn't it funny that when I'm asking Sissy, I'm saying, and what truths did you learn from this experience? And of course, the first thing she says is, I started drinking and doing a lot of drugs.
That's exactly
Isn't it amazing?
true.
But then you find these epiphanies. That's the next chapter of what you need to do. Sissy's ex-husband, who she remains very close friends with, is a brilliant actor in New York. The son is John Boyd, who, not John Boy like on the Waltons, John Boyd. He's done several films. Up and Comer was just in a play in New York, which I had tickets for, but I had to leave and not see it because my father was having a heart surgery thing.
Right.
I was so disappointed that I couldn't
I
see
know,
it.
he was disappointed too. And
John
then my
is brilliant.
daughter, I have to
and
say.
yes.
Beautiful daughter who's also an actor, and
The whole family,
Finding
the
their
whole
way.
meshbuka
I know.
is creative. They're all artists, and they're all insane. And I love you.
I love you too.
Now, cancer. There was cancer,
cancer.
too.
Yeah, that was like, cancer, breast cancer.
Okay, don't you love that? Whatever. Sissy is sort of we walk down a spiritual path together, and she helps me see. She gives me perspective. We also complain a lot together, which is always. I think
that.
it's healthy.
I love it.
It's
We
so
have
healthy.
to.
It's
We have
important to laugh. But Sissy is somebody who has taught me that it is all perfect. Someone who's been going through paralyzation, ups and downs, career things, financial things, creative things, cancer, all these things. And Sissy's, what I get from you is that it's all perfect. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
The order of it is perfect.
Right.
And every time I start to try to question or control the things that I can't do, I have to stand back and allow and accept those things so I
Yes.
can get what's
Right.
coming from it.
Yeah, and we just don't behave always the way we could look back, because I have to tell you this story. When I could begin to move my arm, I began to smoke in the hospital. We could still smoke in the hospital. And so I could move this arm, close the lips around
Really?
the cigarette and take a drag. And so that was really seen as quite a classy thing. Now, of course, people are horrified.
Be disgusted by it, but it's fun. I have to say, it's kind of glamorous.
It was very
But the
glamorous.
idea that you could,
And then I got to do it with one hand.
Oh, really?
Close the
Fascinating.
lips around.
Do it. Reenact it for me.
Okay. I have the cigarette.
And then,
Yeah, that was divine.
well, I don't smoke anymore. I've given
No,
everything
no,
up.
I'm so
I'm
proud
practically a
of you.
monk.
I watched you give that up.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult.
But here we are, living our lives
I know. The purple wall.
against purple walls. Oh, you know what else? Sissy's in this. What's the name of that fantastic book with the photograph?
Fearless Women.
Fearless Women. Look at this
Midlife
gorgeous face. First of all, I want to make sure I don't get this. Look at this face.
Oh my God.
Gorgeous, gorgeous face.
Where I don't have any work done and will not have work done.
No, because she is the culmination of her life and all the gorgeousness that you are, and I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah.
I love
Thank
you, Sam.
for being
Thank
my
you for
friend Friday.
inviting me, friend Friday.
I hope the light
I'm
is
so
good.
honored. I'm very honored. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Goodbye, vlog people. Do something wonderful for somebody today.